Hey y'all, today's episode is dedicated to Jessica Tinsley Anderson. Sadly, Jessica passed away just a few days ago. She was a huge fan of everything that Kelly and I do as it relates to podcast, and both of our thoughts go out to her friends, family, and everyone who knew and loved her. Jessica, much love. We're gonna miss you. All right, folks, we are joining you today from a decorated studio as we are just a few days from the 250th anniversary of our great country and my favorite holiday, the 4th of July, where we just kicked the shit out of Great Britain, didn't we not?
We did. Sorry, guys. You lose.
That's right. And we are decorated not only in the studio, but our bodies are decorated. If you're watching this on Patreon, you'll see a little patriotic, if you will, look to both of us today.
Absolutely.
In our 4th of July best. But we're going to go kick off the show and a slew of topics to cover today. With so much happening in the past few days, we're going to kick things off with the disturbing case of two Texas sisters, Cookie and Kitty. They're accused of murdering a mother of 5 and laughing about it afterward. Then a heartbreaking update on a Louisiana teen, Ja'Derrius Minnieweather. We brought you the original story about this young man who was missing. Authorities may have located his body. In Georgia, a killer suffers a heart attack while trying to dispose of a victim's body. Talk about instant karma.
I know.
Right there. You'll also hear about a woman who slashed a homeowner with a bottle during an argument over a dirty house.
Please don't come to my house then.
Right? Yeah, you get more than a bottle.
Yeah.
A Louisiana man has been sentenced for the brutal killings of 2 Baton Rouge women and the tragic murder of a North Carolina postal worker delivering the mail is also making headlines. A Florida UPS driver makes off with a $55,000 Rolex. And we even have an international story of a man who kills his girlfriend, then thinks it's a good idea to go visit sex workers.
Of course. I mean, it's just the natural thing to do.
What else
right?
would you do after something like that? But we do lighten it up with some wild 4th of July facts you definitely didn't know, followed by our fan favorite, Foolish Felons.
So foolish.
Segment featuring a Florida man who impersonates a police officer and ends up pulling over the real police.
So great.
Whoops.
That is so great.
In overtime, we're going to cover a polygamous sect leader convicted of child sexual assault, a Louisiana police officer accused of groping and skips court, and then a Love Island fan whose lead foot leads her to a trip behind bars.
Arguably another Love Island.
Yeah.
If you look at it that way.
So let's get into it with today's episode of Crime Wire Weekly. I'm Jim Chapman.
And I am Kelly Jennings.
And we're going to go ahead and kick it off unless you have something 4th of July to share with us.
I do. Tell the
do?
people what my shirt says, Jim.
I mean, they can see it.
Not if they're not watching.
I'm not telling them because it's a cuss word.
I'll say it. My shirt is sick. It says "Bitches Love Independence," and it's the Statue of Liberty, and she's looking good.
Did you notice what she's holding?
It looks like a piece of watermelon to me, but it looks like it's a drink.
It's a glass of wine, silly.
I know, but it looked from above when I'm looking down at my shirt, it looks like a piece of watermelon, but she's cheersing with a glass to drink.
Her torch is actually a glass of wine, so you got to check that out.
Sunglasses on. Jim bought me this shirt, no lie.
I did.
I love it.
That's right, and I'm wearing American since 1776.
That's right, brother.
That's
I love it.
All right, we'll get into it. We're going to start out in Texas, and 2 sisters and their friend have been charged with murder after authorities say they brutally stabbed a 32-year-old mother of 5 to death in broad daylight in an attack on a residential street in a small border city. Kitty Diaz, who is 21, Amaya Diaz, her sister, who is 19, and their 21-year-old friend. Condria, I believe is how you say that.
Let me see it. You want me to help you?
Well, I don't want to bore the listeners here.
Okay,
We're going to say Condra, and I'm probably wrong. Foz were arrested Thursday afternoon, just hours after stabbing Caroline Pena. All three face first-degree murder charges and are being held on multi-million-dollar bonds. According to Del Rio police, the attack occurred around 2 p.m. this past Thursday near a busy intersection. Pena suffered multiple stab wounds during what investigators described as a very violent confrontation. She was rushed to the hospital, then airlifted to San Antonio, where she later died of her injuries. Now, surveillance, video, and witness statements, they help police quickly identify the suspects, and court documents indicate that Cookie Diaz wielded the knife, stabbing Pena in the back before all three women joined in the attack. Disturbing video captured during the arrest showed the Diaz sisters actually smiling and glancing toward the camera as they were being led away in handcuffs, and I recommend you go check that out. If you haven't seen it, it's pretty infuriating. A woman believed to be their mother is heard asking bystanders to stop filming. How's that for ballsy? Pena was remembered by family and friends as a devoted mother who was always happy and in good spirits. She leaves behind 5 children. One friend revealed that Pena had been trying to call her best friend just minutes before the attack, but that call went unanswered. The motive for the attack remains unclear as of this recording, though police indicated it stemmed from some type of argument. All 3 suspects are being held at the GEO Correctional Facility pending further proceedings.
This case obviously is just now breaking. We don't have anything to go on here, but I will start by saying that this whole, just looking at the video and the photos and all of this, it's giving that Sharilla type of thought process as far as these young girls thinking that they're badass, thinking that they're somehow like these edgy. You can just, it's giving off this vibe that they think that this is somehow making them like beautiful badasses or something along those lines. And they're missing the boat big time here. What is odd to me is the age gap between the victim and the killers, because she's in her 30s, correct?
She's 32, the oldest. Well, 2 of the 3 that were arrested were 21. So you're talking 11 years.
Yeah. So what this argument is stemming from to me is going to be very interesting because of that age gap between them. What could possibly have brought you this far? But what makes it even more infuriating is that if their mother, the killer's or alleged killer's mother, is on the scene as they're being, you know what I'm saying, as they're being arrested, was she there while they were stabbing this woman? Because why didn't you jump in and instead of worrying about filming, you should have been stopping your heathen animal of children from stabbing another person to death.
Right.
That is such animalistic pack mentality going on there, where one jumps in and then the others jump in suit and 3 are stabbing one person. That is so horrific.
I agree.
That's mind-blowing to me. And they're disgusting. And they're kind of smirking in those mugshots. If you're looking at them, they're smirking as if they think this is funny. I hope you're proud of yourself. You threw your whole life away. You stole a mother, regardless of whatever you thought about her. You stole a mother from 5 children.
And I don't even know that they knew her personally. It seems like they're struggling to even come up with a motive. This could have been just a street confrontation.
It could. And then we've got these young morons with knives running around. That is scary. You know, that should be scary to everybody. Acting like total animals. Okay, let's stay right here in our backyard in Baton Rouge, and we're going to give you an update on the missing teen, Ja'Derrius Minnieweather, who is now obviously believed to be dead because they've been looking for his body. And officials recently confirmed that strong evidence indicates that the body of 15-year-old Ja'Derrius was likely collected by a garbage truck and then dumped at the North Baton Rouge landfill following his murder. So a large-scale recovery effort involving multiple agencies, including the FBI, is now currently in the works. And during a press conference, the Baton Rouge chief said that, you know, there's a lot of people working together, and they were given this grim update alongside Minnieweather's family who was there. Chief Morse said investigators believe that the teen was murdered and his body was disposed of in a way that led it to the massive landfill. It's troubling to imagine, Morse said. Mayor Edwards echoed the difficulty of the task ahead. It's very difficult. It's not going to happen overnight. A recovery effort of this magnitude takes massive time. And if you're curious, this North landfill spans over 400 acres, and daily it gets 1,600 tons of solid waste dumped there, and it's from hundreds of collection vehicles. So the officials have narrowed down the potential location to about a half-acre section, but the search is going to be complex. It's hazardous. Firefighters are going to have to assist due to the presence of dangerous materials. Crews are going to be needed, are going to need insulated protective suits in this sweltering Louisiana summer heat. It just goes on and on. It's a massive undertaking. So the site is now considered an active crime scene. Authorities are working to restrict airspace overhead, and they're urging the public and media to please stay away. The FBI is providing specialized support from both Louisiana and Quantico, Virginia. Officials hope to begin the intensive recovery operation within the next couple of weeks. And Minnieweather was reported missing by his family after he was last seen the early morning hours of June the 5th. 51-year-old Maurice Parms was arrested, and he was charged with first-degree murder in the teen's death. He has been denied bond. I liked that. They denied him his bond. And according to the arrest warrant, Minnieweather rode his bike to visit a longtime 16-year-old female friend on the evening of June the 4th. She had been out getting food with Parms. A tense confrontation erupted between Minnieweather and Parms, which authorities then say turned deadly, and evidence suggests that Parms disposed of the body afterward. Detectives believe that Minnieweather was caught in a confrontation with Parms where he was killed during the struggle, according to the warrant, and Parms has not cooperated with investigators regarding the location of the body. The search has drawn widespread community support, with groups like the United Cajun Navy and local volunteers continuing to assist where possible. District Attorney Hiller Moore highlighted the outpouring of support from prosecutors and officers dedicated in this case.
Yeah, and wow, I could not imagine being his family. You pretty much know where his body is, but you can't even start the search for several weeks. And I had somebody kind of ask me, why that is. Why can't they just send in a cadaver dog? And the response to that is, think about it. It's a landfill. Can you imagine the things that people throw away? You can't send cadaver dogs in there because they could step on syringes. They could step on glass. They could, not to mention the hazardous waste material that is inside of a landfill. So they've literally got to come up with a plan, and then everybody's got to get in the spacesuits, and they got to, every single little piece of paper has to be examined, because anything you come across could be evidence. Right. And so it is a very painstaking thing to do. It's great that they've narrowed it down to a half an acre, but that's still half an acre. That's a lot.
I know.
And so they've got their work cut out for them. I pray that they do find this young man's body, and at least the family will have that.
Yeah, because he deserves a proper burial. Nobody, I don't care who you are, deserves to be dumped in a dump, literally, to be thrown away, literally like trash, is horrible.
And I don't know if, obviously nobody knows, is he in a garbage bag of some sort? I mean, you got to open all that stuff up.
Yeah.
To find it.
Yeah. And
it's horrible.
And then you have to also think too, not to be grim, but, the sweltering heat of South Louisiana, there's going to be maggots and bugs and
a lot of decomposition.
Yes. Well, not only just with him but other stuff too that's out there. I mean, this is a biohazard to the max, and then to have to protect the airspace is also somewhat heartbreaking to me, because he's out there, and we don't want crews flying over there and filming him. Even by accident, just if they're just filming the process. I mean, this is so much bigger than people could ever imagine. And I really do hope that they find him sooner than later. And that the fact that Parms is not even, look, bro, we got you pretty much dead to rights here. You need to give up some information. It could even behoove you, to maybe have a heart right here and say where he is.
Yeah.
You look like just an animal when you don't.
All right, let's go to Georgia, and in a very bizarre and tragic case that spanned the Georgia-Alabama border, authorities say a Georgia man strangled his girlfriend to death before suffering a fatal heart attack while trying to dispose of her body in the remote woods. And I don't think I've ever come across a situation quite like that. Chambers County District Attorney Mike Segrust announced those findings following autopsies conducted by the Alabama Department of Forensic Science. The victims were identified as 47-year-old Jessica Folds. She was from Lynette, Alabama, and 44-year-old Daniel Robbins of Macon, Georgia. The pair were discovered in the woods near a county road in Chambers County, Alabama. Deputies found their bodies lying together near Robbins' abandoned truck, which was still running. So they weren't too far behind when they found the truck, apparently. Yeah. Folds had been strangled while Robbins died of a heart attack. Based on the investigation by the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency and the Chambers County Sheriff's Office and the autopsy, the female victim was strangled, and it appeared the man was attempting to dispose of that body in a remote location. He died of a heart attack while doing that. Their bodies were right there together, authorities said. Investigators determined that Robbins and Fold were in a dating relationship. Authorities believe Robbins killed Fold sometime in early June before driving her body across the state lines into Alabama in an apparent effort to conceal that crime, and of course suffered a fatal medical event mid-act. No foul play is suspected in Robbins' death, and the case is considered closed regarding additional suspects, as according to officials. But Folds was reportedly a mother of three. The incident has drawn a lot of attention, obviously due to the circumstances involved and the irony of the case. As I said earlier, that's kind of poetic justice, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I haven't come across anything like that in a while.
So devious, to say the least. The fact that he drove her across state lines, you can't tell me that wasn't on purpose to try to get her outside of her, her localized area and try to get her further away. But the thing that struck me here is that, often whenever people kill for the first time, assuming this is the first time, I would assume that, but they don't expect the rush of emotion that comes after it because they're so angry that, they do what they do. And so they think that it's just going to go A, B, C, D. And I bet you he strangled her. When he started getting her out there, he started panicking about, oh shit, I really did this. Got him all worked up. Took him out. Yeah. Took himself out right there. And hey, I mean, I don't know how to word this, but I don't feel bad for him. You know,
I mean,
it is what. If the truck was still running too,
I don't feel bad.
How long do you think a truck would run with a full tank of gas before it ran out?
I mean, I would imagine no longer than a 24-hour period. I have no idea.
I don't
to be
either.
Honest,
I don't know.
I guess it would depend on the size of the tank, the size of the truck,
right?
But I mean, I would say less than 24 hours of just constant running.
Yeah. So, I mean, it hadn't been days is what I'm getting at. So that's pretty crazy. That's kind of that's almost like when you're playing a game of like whodunit or Clue or something like that. I mean, it's all right there. It's kind of hard to look any other direction. So, all right. You ever heard of Chubbuck, Idaho?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I like the name Chubbuck. I think that's cool. That'd be a good dog name. Chubbuck. All right. Anyway, a 31-year-old woman. Sorry. That was like an ADD moment, but I thought it was a cute name. All right. A 31-year-old woman is facing aggravated battery charges after authorities say she showed up uninvited to another woman's home and then became enraged over the cleanliness of the residence and slashed the homeowner with a broken Corona beer bottle. Officers responded to a 911 call about 3 a.m. at a residence in Chubbuck, Idaho, and upon arrival, they found Leandra Thorpe being pinned to the ground in the backyard by a man. Both Thorpe and the female homeowner had cuts on their arms. The victim told investigators that Thorpe arrived uninvited and immediately began complaining about the condition of the home. When Thorpe started making comments about the woman's children, the homeowner asked her to leave, but Thorpe allegedly refused. As the tensions escalated, the victim attempted to call 911. Police say Thorpe then struck the woman in the head, knocked the phone from her hand, and grabbed a bottle of Corona beer, smashed it, and used the broken glass to slash at her. The victim suffered a deep cut cut to her wrist and multiple lacerations to her hand while trying to shield herself. She did not fight back, according to her account, until the man in the home intervened to restrain Thorpe. Now, Thorpe was found with a cut on her arm, but it's unclear how she sustained that injury. When questioned by police, she admitted to being upset about the home's cleanliness and claimed the victim had been spreading lies about her. However, she denied using a beer bottle as a weapon, reportedly telling the officers, "This all happened because I asked one question." Do you believe that, Jim? Just one question set her off.
Probably not.
Probably not. Thorpe has been charged with aggravated battery and intentional damage or removal of telecommunications equipment, which is a misdemeanor related to the damaged phone. She posted $10,000 bond and has pled guilty, or not guilty, to the telecommunications charge. The case remains under investigation by the Chubbuck Police Department, and further details about the relationship between Thorpe and the victim have not been publicly released.
I mean, not much to say about this one, except you see a lot of these crimes lately that are just emotional, stupid decisions. This will be one of them. Had she not reacted like this, I mean, she'd be walking around, no problem, enjoying life. Instead, you absolutely lose it and cut somebody with a beer bottle.
It makes you almost wonder if she was intoxicated. I mean, it's 3 a.m., first of all. You show up uninvited at 3 a.m. Like, yeah. I would think people would be asleep. And then she knew the children well enough to start insulting or saying something about the children. And then, so this is a definite, I'm feeling definite cat fight between two women, one clearly the aggressor. But how do you know someone well enough to attack in that manner? It's kind of odd.
Yeah, and
very odd.
It reminds me of, I don't know if you've seen the documentary, the Horrible Neighbor or something like that. It's on Netflix right now. It's like one of the top documentaries, but it's about I don't want to ruin it for the listeners, but go check it out. I think it's called The Horrible Neighbor, The Terrible Neighbor, or something like that. But similar situation, just a lady that would come over at all hours to her neighbor's house, and it ended up really bad. I'm just going to say that. Great documentary, though.
Yeah. Hey, people.
Shout out to that one.
People, neighbors, you have to be very careful, when you live somewhere, because things can get out of control. Yeah, don't only look
at your house, look at your neighbors.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be stuck with them likely for quite a while.
When they say when you get married, you marry the other person's family too. So make sure you know that. Well, when you get into a neighborhood, you're pretty much married to your neighbors too. So you better like the color of their house and how they keep it.
That's right. All right, let's go to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Oh, this is a wild story here. A Baton Rouge man has been sentenced to 80 years in prison after being convicted in the killing of two women whose deaths occurred in the same apartment complex months apart. Now, you may wonder how that can possibly happen. We're about to get into it. Cedric Lang was found guilty in the beating death of Rachel Johnson, who was 42. Her body was discovered in July of 2023 at an apartment complex off Florida Boulevard near North Sherwood Forest Boulevard. He was also convicted in the death of Christina Hobbs, 26, who was killed in December of 2022. So about 8 months prior, in the same location. Police said Hobbs died of a gunshot wound, and the case was considered a suicide. No arrests were made in that case. In July of 2023, Rachel Johnson was found dead at the same address. Police said Johnson was killed by blunt force trauma, beaten to death by Cedric Lane, and it made investigators believe there might be more to Hobbs' death. Well, I would say that's a good conclusion to come to. Yeah. Police gathered enough evidence to rule Hobbs' death a homicide from a suicide, and Lane was booked with additional murder charge. A judge sentenced Lane to 40 years for manslaughter in one case, plus additional time for obstruction, to run concurrently, totaling 80 years. Impact statements from the victims' families highlighted the profound loss and the brutality of the crimes. Johnson's brother, Josh Austin, spoke in court about his sister's struggles with addiction and homelessness, emphasizing that she was still a daughter, sister, and mother who mattered. Quote, addiction does not make someone worthless, family members trust. Johnson's sister and one of her sons also delivered an emotional statement describing the unimaginable violence and the lasting trauma on the family. Now, Hobbs' mother, she previously shared that her daughter faced challenges including poverty and vulnerability, which may have affected the initial response to her death. Both women were remembered as individuals with families who loved them deeply despite these difficult circumstances. And so it looks like this guy, thank goodness, will never get out of prison.
No.
But wild situation. Both killed, same house, and they didn't figure out the first one until they had the second one.
Well, I think that the brother in this instance nailed it as to how this can go this way. When you have people who are in the throes of addiction, and we know this now in this day and age, but they do things and they take risks that they probably naturally would not if they were sober. And these two young girls, obviously or ladies, the photos of them are them, it looks like in better times when they're not necessarily, strung out or anything. But when people fall on these hard times and then they're addicted, they get in the company of people that are less than desirable. And like the second mother said, out of poverty and other, issues, they become extremely vulnerable. And a lot of the time with addiction too, I could see why or how suicide could have been thought to be what happened there. I don't know all the circumstances. Obviously, we don't know everything, but I could see how it could be reasonable that someone who was desperate and in a bad place could make that decision. But kudos to the police for not just pigeonholing it and saying, oh, well, it just happens to be two deaths at the same apartment. They made that connection, and that's terrible because there would have been more victims if they hadn't made this link.
Okay.
I really believe that. It looks like he preyed on these women. They looked similar.
Well, yeah. I mean, both high-risk lifestyle. These pieces of shit like this guy right here, that's what they want. Because if they do end up killing them, a lot of cases, they just
it's hard
live the high-risk life,
Yeah, and it's
that's
hard
the way it's viewed.
It's hard to solve
unfortunately.
Well, and it's hard to solve it, too, when you're a floater and you're homeless and you don't have any roots to go back to. All right, let's go to North Carolina. And this really has been a heartbreaking tragedy that's rocking the rural North Carolina community. But a devoted U.S. Postal Service mail carrier and a mother of two was allegedly kidnapped and then fatally shot while on her delivery route. Her name was Brandy Bird Reynolds, and she was the carrier for USPS. She was found dead at a location in Wilkes County, North Carolina. Officers responded to a 911 call reporting a woman who had been shot inside a vehicle, and she was pronounced dead at the scene. Now, according to police, Reynolds was restrained before being killed. She was then allegedly moved from one location to another without her consent, which is obviously going to satisfy that element of kidnapping. Initial reports mentioned that a man in a gray Nissan Altima was firing shots and a U.S. Postal Service vehicle was involved, with residents also saying that they heard multiple gunshots. William Craig Durham, 56, of Roaring River, has been charged with first-degree murder and first-degree kidnapping. He was placed in the Wilkes County Jail under no bond and is scheduled for his first court appearance. The investigation remains ongoing, and officials have not publicly disclosed whether Reynolds knew Durham or what a possible motive may have been. Reynolds was remembered by her friends and family as a loving mother whose two children were her world. And in a February Facebook post, she wrote alongside a photo of her kids, quote, "The reason I get up every morning, love these babies, they are what makes life worth living." And tragically, reports indicate her children lost their father due to his death recently in a car crash. So the U.S. Postal Service confirmed that Reynolds was performing her duties as a mail carrier at the time of the incident, and the agency has not issued further public comment.
And you don't really think about the dangers that postal workers go through, but here's a telltale example of a rural mail carrier seemingly just killed for no reason.
I almost wonder if maybe she saw something that she wasn't supposed to see, just because she was on her route, that he would restrain her and want to kill her if there was no prior connection. That'd be interesting. But yesterday I saw this story, and I happened to, because I'm like this, but I went and I looked her up on Facebook because I was just curious. Her page is absolutely heartbreaking because it's either pictures of her and her children and her saying how much she loves them, or video compilations that she's posting of her and her deceased husband or boyfriend, the father of her children, and just how much she misses him, and that she doesn't, she doesn't know what to do.
Right.
And she had put this post, and it's just, they're real people, and I can't get past this, but she had posted something. This was 13 weeks ago, and she wrote, God is calling me home and I'm listening. I'm tired of being sad, man. I'm just ready to live my best life and fulfill the purpose he put me on earth for. And then she put an edit and she said, by the way, I'm not suicidal. I mean, figuratively, is calling me home to get back closer to him and to go to church.
Yeah. And these kids don't have either a father or a mother now, both dying, passing away, and obviously the mother killed, or tragic situation.
I hope those babies get into, are loved by family and they help them through all this.
All right, let's go to Florida. We're going to go to Miami-Dade County, and a UPS driver is facing felony charges after investigators say he stole a luxury $55,000 Rolex from a customer's package and was caught in a law enforcement sting operation involving bait packages and hidden traffic devices and even die packs. And they're doing a lot of this lately, y'all. Dennis Millwood, who is 55 of Miramar, was arrested on Thursday, June 25th, and charged with second-degree grand theft, according to the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office. The investigation began after a series of thefts from packages processed through a UPS distribution center. Surveillance footage allegedly showed Millwood routinely arriving before his shift and removing packages from an area containing packages not assigned to his delivery route. So he thought he was being slick. He would load them into his truck, and packages on his legitimate route were typically loaded from a different conveyor system. So a key focus of the probe was a high-value package containing a Rolex watch worth approximately $55,000. Footage captured Millwood loading this package onto his truck, and tracking data confirmed it remained on his vehicle before delivery. The recipient later discovered the Rolex was missing upon opening that box. Boy, that would piss me off.
Oh, yeah.
Investigators also claim Millwood was seen with 4 additional unassigned packages on another occasion, one of which had been opened and resealed. And on the day of his arrest, authorities set up a controlled sting with 2 bait packages containing Samsung cell phones, GPS trackers, and security die packs designed to release red dye if tampered with. Surveillance allegedly showed Millwood taking the bait packages and loading them onto his truck. Deputies followed Millwood on his route. He pulled over, opened one of the packages, and boom, triggered the dye pack. Investigators described him frantically trying to clean red dye from his hands using a towel, paper products, and water before continuing to deliver. He was arrested shortly after while making another stop. A search of his truck reportedly recovered the opened and resealed bait package along with phones and a GPS device. When questioned, of course, he initially denied involvement, but later allegedly admitted to opening one of the control packages. Regarding the Rolex, he reportedly claimed he held it for about a week before giving it to a friend named Chris.
Yeah, I'm sure. Chris. Hey, Chris,
I gave that to Chris, a $55,000 Rolex. He offered to get the watch back if released, but refused to provide further details on the friend. When asked why he took packages not assigned to his route, he replied that he does that all the time. This ain't out of character for me, is basically what he said. I always take packages not assigned to my route.
Duh.
Millwood was booked into jail, remains held on just a $5,000 bond, which surprised me. Yeah. You steal a $55,000 Rolex and you get a $5,000 bond. Don't tell me how that works out, but there you have it. Yeah. People better watch out. They're doing a lot of this.
Yeah. Mailing a $50,000 item would make my butt pucker. Like, I don't think I'd rather drive that to someone than put it in the mail, because just this week, actually, and Jim knows that the post office and I have like drama together, but just this week I went and I had a notice to pick up a package in my P.O. box, and I went to go turn the slip in, and the lady goes, "Oh, we must have been having a problem with our machine. There's no package." And I said, "Well, no, there's a tracking number on here, so it's got to be a real package." She's like, "No, like, yeah. But what do you do then? So then the postmaster comes and takes it and goes to the back and is like, I can't find the package. This must be a misprint. And I'm thinking, no. And I am missing a package, something I expected to get. So it's like, I'm not saying someone stole it. Maybe it got misplaced or misdelivered somewhere else. I don't know. But $50,000 item that's getting jacked. But genius part here on the police is that they put the die pack in there because what he was going to argue, and everyone knows this, was that, I didn't open the package. Someone else did, right? And that's why it was retaped or resealed. But the die pack takes out that argument that it wasn't me that opened it initially.
Right.
So I think that's awesome. And he needs to be banned too. I think there should be some type of penalty here because it's mail. You're messing with someone's mail. As far as like, it's supposed to be a federal offense if you steal mail out of a mailbox.
Right.
So I don't understand the charge here with only a $5,000 bond.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. All right, let's, are you ready to do a little international indiscretions?
Sure.
Like this segment. And we're going to go to England for this one.
Okay.
So a British man is on trial for the alleged rape and murder of his girlfriend, with prosecutors claiming he left her lifeless body decomposing in their home while he twice ventured out to seek sex workers in a nearby city. Stephen Edward Sexton, 38, of, I think this is Taunton, Hampshire, stands accused of murdering 37-year-old Joanna Durkex at their home in Waterlooville. He also faces charges of rape and controlling or coercive behavior, and he has pled not guilty to all counts. So according to the prosecutors, after he killed her, Sexton did not call emergency services or seek help. Instead, he left the residence on 2 separate occasions in an attempt to visit sex workers, leaving her body behind. Now, this is scary, but her sister is who discovered the grim scene when she stopped by the home. She found Sexton atop of the stairs and looking what, as she described, as really scared. And when she insisted on checking upstairs, she located her sister's body on the bed. The sister reportedly yelled, "You killed my sister," prompting Sexton to allegedly grab a knife in the kitchen, saying, "You're not leaving." And then he pointed it toward his own wrist. The woman escaped and alerted authorities. So an autopsy reported that Durkak's neck had been broken in 3 places, with DNA evidence suggesting sexual assault. Prosecutors described a toxic 3-year relationship marked by escalating control, jealousy, paranoia, and violence. Court testimony alleged Sexton became increasingly abusive, especially after losing his job and turning to drugs. Behaviors included fitting a tracking device to her car, checking her emails, breaking her phone and laptop, locking her out of the house, and physically assaulting her, including an alleged attempted strangulation. Durkax had reportedly confided in family and police about his narcissistic and controlling conduct just weeks before her death. The trial, which is expected to last about 8 weeks, continues with ongoing testimony. Sexton's defense has described him as cooperative with authorities prior to charges. Tributes following her death described her as a special daughter, aunt, and sister. Beautiful woman.
Beautiful woman.
Wow.
And another senseless crime, right?
Toxic relationships have got to be the most dangerous place to be, because you see these victims torn between, abuse. It's typical. The person that love bombed you and showed you how wonderful they are, and that is juxtaposed against this mean, nasty person, and your heart wants to stay with them to pull back that loving person that they know is in there, so to speak. But that mean one, you cannot win. You cannot win against narcissistic control and jealousy, and then drugs on top of it. Very dangerous. Yeah,
and we cover a lot of cases, sadly, that are this exact MO.
If someone loves you, they won't hit you, they won't strangle you, and the apologies do not count after someone has struck you. We need to start embedding that in people, young people especially. Once they hit you, the apology does not count.
Right.
Oof.
All right, let's lighten it up.
Okay.
So we're gonna don't be cheating. You try to look at my paper.
I can't see. I don't have my glasses.
So I'm gonna lift it up. We're gonna have some fun, y'all, and y'all know I love my fun facts. If you listen to Exposed, I give you all those from time to time. Well, we're gonna give you some today on Crime Wire Weekly, and of course, it is the 4th of July holiday.
Yes.
This is, this episode will actually air on the 3rd. But we're going to go ahead and give you those fun facts, and we'll see if Kelly knows some of these as I go along. So we're going to start off. One thing that a lot of people, I actually realized this before I come across this one, but it's not actually Independence Day for everyone on July 4th. Did you know that?
I guess not.
While the Continental Congress adopted the Declaration of Independence on July 4th, most delegates didn't actually sign it until August 2nd. So John Hancock and Charles Thompson, they signed it on July 4th, but the famous painting of the signing is actually historically inaccurate. It's actually August 2nd when they all signed it. So that's when it became the document.
Were they traveling? Is that what it was? They had to get all
I mean, it wasn't like you could get in the car or fly your private jet over there.
Facts.
It's freaking horse and buggy.
Right.
I'll be there in 6 days and you live 2 counties over. Yeah. So just an interesting, but that's when we all celebrated, right? The founding fathers, what do you think they celebrated with? So they're like everyone else, just because they were old in those days and walked around with wooden teeth and stuff like that. They like to party like everybody else, man. And they even wore wigs.
I was going to say they had their wigs, but I bet you they were hitting that whiskey and smoking cigars.
Yeah. So John Adams and Thomas Jefferson were big fans of alcohol.
Hell yeah.
Whiskey, booze in particular, booze. Early Independence Day celebrations included massive quantities of rum, beer, and wine. And I bet the rum in those days was hard, man.
I bet it was good.
I bet it bust your gut in a heartbeat. In 1778, George Washington even celebrated by ordering a double ration of rum for his soldiers on July 4th. So they encourage, hey, let's all get smashed, man.
Hell yeah.
Who's got some fireballs?
This is our country. We can do what we want.
So what do you think give you another one. Okay. What do you think the top food is consumed on July 4th?
Hot dogs and hamburgers?
No, you get to choose one, Kelly.
Oh.
The top food.
Hot dog.
Well, you'd be correct. Yay! Hot dogs reign supreme. Americans consume about 150 million hot dogs on 4th of July.
Damn.
Enough to stretch, if you're curious, from D.C. all the way to L.A. Over 5 times.
No way.
Yes. Famous hot dog eating contest. Nathan's is held every year on the 4th of July since 1916. And so make sure you check out ESPN every year.
It's so gross.
On July 4th. Oh, I love it.
When they dip it in that water.
And the guy that always wins, used to always win, was like 100 pounds soaking wet.
Yeah.
And he would put him down.
Yeah.
All right, next one. The Star Spangled Banner was born from a battle. And I believe we covered this in our little true crime time machine at one point, but Francis Scott Key wrote the lyrics, obviously, to the Star Spangled Banner. He did that after witnessing the British bombardment of Fort McHenry. If you'll remember, he was in a jail cell on a boat, and he would see the rockets going through the air.
He would see the rockets' red glare and the bombs bursting in air, which gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
That's right. How did you remember?
I know my history.
You know your history. Fireworks were here before the United States were here. Did you know that?
No.
Fireworks originated in China over 2,000 years ago. The first July 4th fireworks display actually happened in 1777 in Philadelphia, just 1 year after independence was declared. And today, over 16,000 fireworks displays light up the skies every year.
I love that Americans are like, hell yeah, freedom. Let's drink and explode shit. That is a good time.
Unless you live in the city limits of Denham Springs, and you can't explode. And my dog hates it when you explode shit. So my dog will be going nuts
Poor
tonight.
Phoebe. We'll pray for you,
I
Phoebe.
think dogs, there's probably a lot of dog owners out there listening to this and they can relate.
Yeah, my neighbor
freaks dogs out.
I love my neighbor, but he comes out every 4th of July because my husband's a pyro, and he yells at us because he's like, "You're scaring my dogs."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Sorry, America, bro."
Dang, you're a horrible neighbor. Like, you don't even feel bad.
I feel terrible, but my dogs are inside. I put on the TV and I put it loud enough that it doesn't, affect them.
I'm kidding, y'all.
I love my dogs.
So don't go out there and leave a negative review and say, "Jim's so mean to Kelly." We joke. We got jokes.
No,
like that's what friends do.
We have hit sibling phase in our friendship is what it is. And we fight and then we move on.
Right. All right. Let's, here's one that I found interesting and I was not aware of. 2 presidents have actually died on July 4th. What? So Thomas Jefferson and John Adams, which were incidentally the second and third presidents and former rivals who later became friends, both died on July 4th, 1826, exactly 50 years from when the Declaration was adopted. James Monroe also died on July 4th, but not on the same day. That was in 1831, some 5 years later.
Patriotic shit right there.
Crazy.
Seriously.
Yeah. It's also a barbecue bonanza. The 4th of July is one of the biggest grilling days of the year. Americans fire up over 700 million pounds of meat, with hamburgers and hot dogs, of course, leading the charge. It's also peak season for what? Potato salad and apple pie.
And watermelon.
Of course,
We always hammer watermelon on our 4th of July.
I don't do watermelon, but I do, although that would be good. I do apple pie, though.
Yeah.
Because, that's apple pie, man. That's all American right there. The Declaration was not widely celebrated at first. Early Americans actually celebrated July 4th with parades, toasts, and cannon fire. Cannon fire. Fire the cannon off. I'd do that now if somebody let me.
Do you remember the cannon at our high school?
Yes.
Broadmoor High School would shoot a cannon.
It didn't actually become a federal holiday until 1941. Before that, many people had to work on July 4th.
No, indeed.
Yeah.
I'm not working. I'm eating and I'm jumping in the pool.
Well, there you have it. Bald eagles and the flag connection. The bald eagle was chosen as the national symbol in 1782. On the 4th, you'll see plenty of them, or at least flag-themed versions, and we got one in the background right now. Fun twist, Benjamin Franklin wanted the turkey as the national bird instead of the bald eagle.
You shut your mouth.
I'm not kidding
I
you.
would have been so pissed off.
How, man? The bald eagle is my favorite animal, and it is exactly what you would think of when you think freedom. A turkey.
Go, America. Like, are we going to gobble? Hell no, you want that?
Yeah, that shocked me when I came across that one.
Oh, my God.
Thank goodness that Ben Franklin didn't get what he wanted. Go out there and fly a key on a kite, dude.
Damn it, Ben.
Let us handle the birds.
Stay in your lane, dog.
The Macy's 4th of July Fireworks Spectacular is one of the largest in the country. It features over 75,000 fireworks shells. It's been lighting up the Hudson River and later known as the East River since 1976 for the bicentennial.
All right. Let me tell you how well I know you, Jimothy Chapman, and you don't know this. But I sat down last night and I said, Jim's going to pull some BS on me whenever I go in to record. I know he is, and I'm going to look like a fool. Do you know for about 45 minutes last night, I studied facts about our flag?
No.
I'm not kidding you. I can pull my search history up because I said he's going to start hammering me with flag facts. I know him like the back of my hand. And so when you pulled this out, I thought I got him.
All right, I'm going to ask you one. I'm going to ask you one off the top of my head.
Okay.
Who sewed up the first flag?
Well, the thing is she didn't. According to legend, her son is the one who shared that through verbal Ross, Betsy Ross.
Yes.
And her...
I'm surprised you knew that.
It's because I studied last night. I'm not kidding you.
I'm surprised you knew that.
And they said that her son...
I don't believe that. I think she did it. I know there's a legend, supposedly.
I choose to believe it.
Betsy did that.
Yep.
Her son ain't doing no sewing.
Listen,
Not
that he did it. That her grandson's oral history was shared for the first time, and then people accepted that as fact. All right, well, check this out. Do you know where the design of our American flag, like who designed it? Since I studied last night, because this blew my mind. I don't think you'll guess it. It was actually a high school student. Because, it used to have the circle of it used to have like the few stars. And then
the original 13 colonies.
Yeah.
Correct.
So he designed it. He designed it. his teacher gave him a B-. He started writing Eisenhower and like all these other like presidents and stuff like that. It was like this whole hoopla and everything. And I know right now you're going, wait, why Eisenhower? That doesn't make sense in the timeline or whatever.
No, because Eisenhower was like 200 years later.
I know. But I think when it was like, I think it had something to do with when it was like formally like stated something about like that would have to be, it was something I was looking at last night, but they said he wrote the presidents and he,
wait, Kelly, he designed the flag?
The way that the stars are actually like placed, like the way that they're actually spaced and placed. It said it was a high school student that did that and got.
But it wasn't back in the 70s. That flag's been the same way for hundreds of years.
I know. Now I'm gonna have to look it up.
Well, we're not going to do that during the show. Okay. Let us know next week.
I'll look it up. But anyway, they said it was a high school student, and then the teacher, after he wrote presidents, and it became this huge hoopla. The teacher then went back and changed the grade to an A.
Okay. I'm going to need some confirmation.
I'm going to show it to you.
You might be getting that one a little backwards. Maybe you're getting it right. I don't know.
Okay, can I get credit for studying, though, last night? Because I thought you were going to...
I did. I said I didn't think you know the Betsy Ross thing.
I even know what red, white, and blue stands for, because that's how much I studied. I know the flag now.
You and Toby
Like I
Keith.
should. We'll put a boot in your ass. It's the American way. All right. That's great. So was it my turn or your turn now?
Your turn.
Okay. Jim, it's one of my favorites. It's the Foolish Felons segment.
Say it.
You say it.
No, I like when you say it.
So foolish.
There you go.
All right. We are going to go to a place in Florida that I have never pronounced a day in my life. Thanatasasa.
I'll go with it.
Thanatasasa. Someone tell me how to say that. All right. In a case of spectacularly bad timing, so it's perfect for the addition of Foolish Felons, a Florida man is facing serious charges after authorities say he equipped his vehicle with emergency lights and attempted to pull over what turned out to be an undercover sheriff's deputy.
That is so awesome.
That is it's epic. All right. According to the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, a black Chevrolet Suburban driven by 46-year-old Nadi Jabari activated red and blue emergency lights while following an unmarked sheriff's vehicle appearing to initiate a traffic stop. Unbeknownst to Jabari, the vehicle he was trying to pull over was occupied by undercover deputies. They quickly turned the tables, conducting a traffic stop on the Suburban instead. Body camera footage released by the sheriff's office captures deputies approaching the vehicle and questioning the driver. During the investigation, deputies say they discovered an illegal emergency light set up inside the Suburban, along with additional 2-foot emergency light bar and a firearm. Jabari, as you can imagine, was taken into custody on the scene. He faces charges including impersonating a law enforcement officer, unlawful use of a blue light, and possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. He has since been released from jail after posting bond, and the sheriff condemned the alleged actions in a statement saying, when someone falsely presents themselves as law enforcement, they threaten the trust that exists between deputies and the community we serve. This individual's actions were dangerous, deliberate, and illegal. The sheriff's office noted the investigation remains ongoing.
100%. Boy, you can't get any more unlucky than to pull over a dang cop. And you're faking like you're a cop. And that's despicable when you do that.
And you got to wonder motive here. You have to wonder motive because...
Power trip.
Yes, but also...
Because he's pulling over dudes. I know what you're thinking. But I mean, he's pulling over two guys. He's not pulling over a girl that, you know.
Yeah, but I wonder if he knew... I'm wondering if he thought he knew who was in that vehicle or something like that. Like pulling over some guys doesn't seem intelligent anyway, even if they weren't undercover cops.
Right.
But here's the thing, too, and I want to let people know this. We've been trained, I know our age groups have been trained that you never dial 911 unless it's like death, right? You don't dial 911.
Right.
So the reality is this, your 911 operators are there to help you no matter the level of help you need. If you ever see lights behind you and you are being pulled over, you absolutely, positively have the right and the ability to call and to say, I'm being pulled over. Can you verify whether this is a cop? Now, if they're in a marked unit, come on. But I'm saying this guy wasn't in a marked unit.
Yeah.
And so if you even question it, you can call because the dispatcher can check, can radio and say, hey, the caller's calling. They're going to pull over up here at the Walmart or wherever they feel comfortable. And in instances like this one, this could have been a bad outcome for someone because he's not really a cop. So if you ever question it, don't ever feel like you can't call out for help or to confirm it.
Right.
Because you can.
Yeah.
And they'll be happy to do that for you. That's wild.
All right. There you have it. We're going to go into overtime, but before we do, want to remind everyone this will be the last overtime that we air on the regular feed. If you are enjoying the overtime edition, the links to both the Exposed and Unspeakable Patreons are below. You not only get extra stories, we typically do 4 extra stories on the overtime, but you also get a video version of this podcast. And who wouldn't want to see me podcast?
I mean, beauty
on video
is in the eye of the beer holder.
Yeah.
Found where I found that information on the flag. So if they're curious, according to Reader's Digest, Bob Heft came up with the 50-star design for a school project.
The 50-star design.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Alaska and Hawaii when they were added, and that would make more sense.
Yes, because it says after making calls and writing letters to the White House and after Alaska and Hawaii, God, you're good, Jim. After Alaska and Hawaii eventually gained statehood, President Eisenhower finally decided on Bob's take on the flag because you asked, yes, his teacher did raise his grade to an A.
Yeah.
But to prove to you, I
mean,
really did
he didn't
study.
change it a whole lot. It was still like the stars stacked up. He just added 2 of them.
I'm just saying, I was prepared for your shenanigans, and
Yeah.
I need you to know I studied.
There you go. Very good. So, Kelly, let's go into overtime. All right, and we're going to start off in Phoenix, Arizona, and I'm going to tell you about Samuel Bateman, who is a self-proclaimed polygamous sect leader, already serving a 50-year prison sentence for orchestrating child sexual abuse. Well, he has also been convicted on 3 counts of child abuse in an Arizona state court. So a county jury returned the guilty verdict. This was on Friday after roughly 40 minutes of deliberation. Bateman, who represented himself during the trial, faces additional state penalties on top of his existing federal sentence that I just told you about, that 50-year sentence. The convictions stem from a 2022 traffic stop. This is in Flagstaff, Arizona. Police pull over his vehicle and they discover 3 girls, ages 11 to 14 at that particular time, inside a hot, unventilated Wells cargo trailer that he was hauling. The enclosed space reportedly contained only a makeshift toilet, a sofa, camping chairs, and obviously raised concerns in which the minors, how they were being transported. Prosecutors said that the setup constituted child abuse, describing the trailer as a dangerous instrument under Arizona law, and Bateman's defense and self-representation obviously did little to sway the jury. Now, he was born in 1976 in Colorado City, Arizona. How's that to confuse you?
Yeah.
He led a small group of fundamentalist Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. He positioned himself as a prophet, succeeding Warren Jeffs, and he amassed followers and claimed more than 20 spiritual wives, including at least 10 underage girls. In 2024, he pled guilty in federal court to conspiracy to commit transportation of a minor for criminal sexual activity and conspiracy to commit kidnapping. Federal prosecutors detailed a years-long scheme in which Bateman coerced girls as young as 9 years old, Kelly, into sexual acts with other adults, often framing the abuse as religious mandates. He also plotted to kidnap some victims from protective custody. District Judge Susan Bronovich sentenced him to 50 years in prison in 2024, followed by lifetime supervised release. His case drew national attention at that time. As a matter of fact, Netflix put out a documentary called Trust Me, the false prophet, and authorities have noted while he has been incarcerated, questions remained about the status of some of his former followers and wives. The Arizona conviction added another layer of accountability, obviously, for the harm inflicted on vulnerable minors under his influence. And fortunately, looks like he ain't never getting out of jail. He's right where he belongs.
This story mimics so many others. And first of all, when you say represented himself, it tells me a whole lot right there, because there is commonalities between people who become false. And I'll say false because, look, we have a lot of charismatic religious leaders that are wonderful. Okay. But when they become cult-ish type leaders and they're able to put themselves in the forefront, they have these grandiose belief of themselves. And so that's absolutely why he represented himself right here. I mean, this guy's putting himself up there with the level of arrogance. God, this arrogance. But this, one of the scariest things to me, and I really mean this, is when people weaponize religion. When you weaponize religion, it almost makes some people unable to defend themselves because of the word of God being placed in it. And when you use God as a weapon to take young children, to take young girls, 9 years old, 9 years old, you're in what, fourth grade, third grade? These are babies. And you're getting them to do sexual things that they don't understand, but under the guise of God. Not only is it just despicable and disgusting, but you are now setting up these children when they're removed from this situation, and thank God for those cops that did their job. Traffic stops do result in saving lives, and this is an example of it. These girls now are going to have a very thwarted ability to, to grow up and to have the ability for religion to be a good thing for them. I mean, this is cultish. Right. And I hate that their innocence has been stolen from them, their ability to, I'm not saying they can't work through it, but I hope that they get surrounded by loving, caring, genuinely, wonderful people that can show them that, and men are not all predatory, but he is a predator.
100%.
All these religious wives, it makes me angry. It really, it burns in me that these are young girls that should have been protected by other women who were probably brainwashed too.
Yeah.
And what do we do to stop this? Because that's crazy. And they're in the back of a trailer being hauled around like cattle.
Yeah.
Sick. All right, we're going to come back again to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. This is what our third story today from Baton Rouge. All right, so a bench warrant has been issued for a former Baton Rouge Police Department officer who faces misdemeanor sexual battery charges after he allegedly groped a gas station employee in an incident captured on surveillance video. According to court records and local reports, 32-year-old Stephon Jones failed to appear for his arraignment this past Monday in the 19th Judicial District Court. His attorney was present, but Jones's absence led to the issuance of a warrant for his arrest. The charges stem from a December 2025 incident at a Be Quick convenience store in Baton Rouge, where surveillance footage shows Jones placing his hand on the buttocks of a female gas station employee. He was arrested shortly after the incident and initially placed on paid administrative leave while BRPD investigated. Jones, who had been with the department for about 6 years, resigned from the department in lieu of termination amid multiple prior investigations. So court documents indicate that the district attorney's office is moving forward with the sexual battery case via a bill of information. But this is not Jones's first brush with scrutiny. Previous reports highlight internal investigations involving allegations such as a 2019 incident where he pulled a taser in Tigerland to disperse a crowd. He has since left the force. This case remains active. The authorities are seeking Jones to bring him into custody on the bench warrant. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is urged to contact the sheriff's office.
Yeah, and I actually saw the video from this, and he totally groped her. He basically walked behind her as she was doing something with it looked like the little fountain drink machine. Yeah. And I mean, rubs his hand straight over her ass as he walks by. And shout out to her for, look, I mean, that's a cop, and a lot of people wouldn't have reported that. They just would have been nervous and figured nobody's going to do anything to a cop. Shout out to her for reporting it. Sounds like it wasn't his first rodeo doing dumb shit.
Yeah. I don't get, though, what's wrong with the pulling of the taser? Obviously, we don't have all the details here. I am curious. That was odd to me. Like,
well, I think the accusation is there was no need for it. Like the people were complying.
Well, yeah, but I just was curious about that. But yeah, when you're touching women, and they don't want to be touched, I have a big problem with that. You ought to know better. Even if you weren't a cop, you ought to know better.
But especially if you're a cop.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's the problem. He gives a black eye to the whole freaking department when he did something like that.
And you were a cop for 6 years and you didn't show up to your court date? Yeah. Come on, bro. Yeah. You know what you got to do.
The reason why you didn't show up, because you're guilty.
Yeah.
That's what I would derive from that.
Well, the video sure looks guilty. So
yeah,
get those types of, this right here puts a really bad taste too in good cops' mouths, because you're out there trying to fight the good fight, and then you got people like this abusing the uniform, and it's unacceptable on all levels.
Nobody hates bad cops more than good cops.
Indeed.
Period. All right, let's go. Look, do you watch Love Island?
Absolutely not.
You do not?
No.
Okay. All right.
I don't.
I think Wendy's watched a couple of those, but I haven't watched it.
I watch crime documentaries, and I watch court trials.
Same, but I got 3 girls in my household. They dominate I guess the girly shows, and I would classify Love Island as more of a girl show than a guy show. Yeah. But a Love Island super fan was also a super speeder in Arizona. Jasmine Melvin, who is 34, was driving to her Maricopa, Arizona home. This is last Tuesday when a state trooper clocked her vehicle going 108 miles an hour in a 65 mile an hour zone. So it must have been on the interstate or something. But upon being pulled over, Melvin explained she was returning home to watch that night's installment of Love Island USA, the reality dating competition, which launched its 8th season earlier this month on Peacock. The streaming service describes the show's contestants as a group of sexy singles living in a tropical villa. You're going to go watch it tonight.
No, I'm not.
I can already see you peeking.
No, I'm watching Blacklist right now. I'm behind in the times. So
Love Island. She's going to be checking. She's going to binge on it.
Nah.
Melvin's vehicle was impounded. What, you got something against Love?
No, I think that reality shows are stupid.
Oh, my gosh.
Sorry.
You don't like Survivor? You don't like American Idol?
Nope.
You don't really?
Mm-mm. I liked American Idol in the original when it was like
Big Brother. You don't like that?
Mm-mm. Dang. I really don't.
Anyway, I'm gonna continue on.
Okay.
I'm shocked at this new information I just found out about Kelly. Her vehicle gets impounded, and it goes to what they call car jail for 20 days. So she lost it for a little while.
The car didn't do it.
No, but
he's paying
she
the
can't have the car
consequences.
back.
No, the car, I'm saying.
Well, how do you know the car ain't a girl? A lot of people name their cars girls' names. If you're a girl.
I am sorry that I just assumed the gender of the car.
Since devotion to Love Island is not a legitimate excuse for going 43 miles over the speed limit, Melvin also was arrested for reckless driving and exceeding the posted speed limit by more than 20 miles an hour. She was booked into the Pinal County Jail, and she was released after posting a $500 bond. But here's the interesting thing. This is no dummy, this girl. Not at all. She's actually a graduate of the U.S. Naval Academy, and she has served as an officer in the Navy Civil Corps of Engineers for 20
She's smart.
years.
She's smart
extremely
lady.
Smart.
Yeah.
To be on the Corps of Engineers, you got to be just about a bona fide genius. The Naval Academy don't accept anybody but geniuses. So shout out to this lady for her brains, but not so much for her lead foot.
Yeah.
I get it. Hey, you're trying to get home and watch it, Love Island, man.
I'm willing to give her some grace here and say, look, you messed up. It's a thing. But
yeah, I mean, she's speeding. Ain't a big deal.
Yeah. Well, but 100 miles an hour is a big deal because that can cause a chain reaction of death if you hit somebody or if you lose control.
On the road. You're in Arizona. You're in the desert.
You're just saying that because you have a fast car. That's why you're saying that right now. You're just saying that
because you have a slow car.
Actually, if you want to be real with it, I have a Hemi. Now, I don't know what that means, but it says Hemi on my dash. So stick that in your pipe and smoke it.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, let's go to Washington, Missouri. I didn't even know there was a Washington, Missouri. I am so geographically stunted.
Well, there's a Colorado City, Arizona or whatever we covered earlier.
Look,
People need to quit confusing with naming cities after states.
Like New York, New York. Okay, I get that. That makes sense. But when you start putting Washington and Missouri together, you're blowing my mind.
All right.
I'm simple.
Let's get to your story.
All right. So a wedding celebration at a scenic Missouri venue turned chaotic over the weekend when a guest allegedly assaulted multiple people, including his own mother, the wedding photographer, and then... Well, his mother wasn't the wedding photographer. It was the mother and the wedding photographer. Right. And then forcing a family member to deploy bear spray to subdue him. So according to the Franklin County Sheriff's Office, deputies responded on the Sunset Bluffs wedding venue in Washington, about 55 miles west of St. Louis. And this was following reports of a disturbance during a wedding-related event. So Benjamin Reeders, who is 28, was identified as the suspect. So witnesses told deputies that Reeders, who arrived early and then appeared to be in emotional distress, became involved in multiple physical altercations with family members and guests while the bridal party was getting ready. Holy cow. So Reeders is accused of assaulting several individuals, including the wedding photographer who sustained minor injuries. Family members also reported that he pushed his mother to the ground during the incident. Before law enforcement arrived, one family member used bear spray in an effort to stop Reeders' aggressive behavior and prevent further attacks. Despite being sprayed, Reeders allegedly continued to be combative. When deputies attempted to take him into custody, he resisted arrest. I'm just going to real quick say I don't recommend whatever brand of bear spray he used if it's not going to stop one man. So the Franklin County Sheriff's Office confirmed that he faces charges including third-degree assault, fourth-degree assault, and resisting arrest, which is a felony. He was booked into jail on a $20,000 cash-only bond. And in a statement, staff at Sunset Bluffs wedding venue said the incident occurred while the wedding party was preparing, and the event continued as planned afterward. An invited guest arrived early, was in emotional distress, and became involved in a physical altercation with his family and a photographer. We are relieved that everyone involved is okay. They thanked law enforcement for their quick response and emphasized that guest safety remains a top priority.
Yeah. Sorry about the delay there. I was gathering my thoughts, but I will say, first of all, what was the dude doing with bear spray?
I don't know. That's what
at a wedding.
I don't know.
I mean, I think it's great. He stopped because let me tell you, I can only imagine what being sprayed in the face with bear spray is going to do.
That's like
it's bad enough,
capsaicin.
I'm sure, with mace.
Yeah.
Or freeze plus P, but bear spray, wow.
But it must not have been that good of a brand because he kept fighting.
Yeah. Some people, it's like when you tase them and some people can just keep fighting. They pull taser stuff out and then you're like, ruh-roh. The plugs or whatever.
But a bear will knock your head off your shoulders.
Yeah.
So.
Just crazy. In your wedding. You get like so one mad. Of these, right?
I know.
You'll have a story to tell the rest of your life, that's for sure.
Remember when Uncle Eddie got bear sprayed at the wedding?
Yeah. And, that's in Washington, which that's a big bear country state.
No, it's Missouri.
I thought it was Washington, you said.
It's Washington, Missouri.
Oh, okay. Well, same. Missouri also bear country.
Yeah.
So... maybe everybody carries, maybe it's like carrying chewing gum around here.
Yeah, I don't know. Y'all got to tell us because we don't have that issue here. So,
yeah.
I mean,
we have bears. We have Louisiana black bears, but we don't walk around bear spray. They're not that common. Usually, if Kelly saw a bear, she'd be the one to approach it.
Oh, my God, I want to put a sweater on it and love it. That's what I want to do.
Try that.
I know, and then I'll be headless in the damn woods.
And before we get out of here today, I do want to mention and offer my condolences to the family of Jessica Tinsley Anderson.
Yes, absolutely.
She is a super fan of both Kelly and I's, I guess you could say. Subscribers to both of our Patreons, always supportive. And I want to read something that she sent me recently, just to kind of give you an idea of who she was. It says, Jim, as a mama missing her son that is overseas fighting for our freedom this second, I want to tell you how your podcast gives me a little normalcy through it all. I can listen to you and also Kelly and feel normal for a second. My days are spent worrying and praying for my sweet boy. This is the first time in his life that I can't be there to protect him. It's heart crushing, but I'm also so proud. I just want you to know you give me a little reprieve from the chaos. I thank you for that. I bet you never thought this was the journey you would be on to help someone else who is dealing with a war. Epic Fury is a game changer for the USA and the world. I just hope and pray it's over soon, and I am hugging Hunter's neck like never before. From the bottom of my military mama's heart, I thank you. God bless the troops, and God bless your podcast.
She is a wonderful, or was a very wonderful lady.
Yeah, she really, really was. And I was shocked to hear about that today, and just thoughts and prayers out to her family. Tragic, horrible.
And we hope that we know that Hunter is trying to get home now while he's serving. And so we want to extend our prayers to him, condolences for loss, but also we hope that he can make it home safely, and let Jessica's family know that we know our listeners. When we talk to you, when you speak to us, when you reach out to us, it's not just fluff. It's not us just saying, oh, we love you. You know, we really genuinely do. We love getting to know you. And Jessica, we want to thank you, maybe a little too late because you're gone, but we do want to thank you so much for your friendship through the years and your support, your kindness, and sharing love with us.
That's right.
It means the world.
That's right. And that's all we got for today, Kelly. So everyone else, happy 4th of July. Go out there, celebrate. If you're in the United, of course, we have people from all over the world. So if you're in Great Britain, sorry.
Sorry, guys.
I'm sorry that we defeated you.
I'm sorry we had to break up.
Yeah. Sorry we had to break up. But for all my Americans out there, fellow Americans, go out there, celebrate. And remember, freedom cost everything.
Yes.
And keep that in mind.
Absolutely.
What an amazing job our founding fathers did, that our country 250 years later is still here, and so proud of that.
Very much so. I'm proud to be an American. I'm proud to be your co-host, and we appreciate everybody for tuning in.
That's it. Till next time, I'm Jim Chapman.
And I'm Kelly Jennings.
And we're your host of Overtime.
Overtime.